right, we got another live clip here, and got the whole gang here. Not actually the whole gang, but some people. We're going to be talking about the tweet you see on screen, but before we get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery, helping victims of Africom, the Cohen Daly, the Australian boy. Also, help some content creators, DV, aka Redneck Economics, Sleepy J, Buy Him a Coffee, and the Snail, Ali Alexandra. All links are in the description box. All right. So what you see on screen here is a tweet from Samira Khan, and she says, "Money definitely can buy happiness. It's really just dumbass hippies who claim otherwise." I don't know. I thought that'd be an interesting thing to talk about.
Says the rich chick who's from New Jersey.
Yeah, I agree with, but I agree
Says
with
the bootlicking rich girl.
I agree though. Like I agree, money can buy happiness. I want to hear what you guys say.
You ever meet a real nice girl and she touches your butt and it makes you smile?
Promise?
That was free, man.
No, I know that. I know that, but when you're poor, you know, like poor, you can't really be happy.
No girls
and the
want
money
to
will
touch
help you
your
be
butt
happy. So
that's not true. Poor girls touch my butt.
It is true. No, yeah, but I mean, you know,
It's
like
a
in
lot
all
harder.
seriousness, like there ain't too many like happy poor people. Like you got to make yourself happy, but you hate life at the same time. I
You can't
do.
take vacations. You can't have health care. You can't do
Yeah, all
anything.
that
You're
shit.
just stuck.
Yeah.
You can't live in a house. Don't have any Wi-Fi. Don't have electricity.
All that. I have an apartment. Yeah, I can't. I never lived in a house my whole life. I'm 41. I lived like with other people in a house, like not one of mine.
So it sounds like you're all in agreement here. Is there anyone?
There's some merit to it. You know, it's like, okay, well, you do need certain level of income to buy like the things that you need so you can enjoy happiness. But at the same time, like, you know, if you're swimming in money and, you know, something happens, like a loved one dies or something like that, then of course, then, you know, money can't fix that. But it does buy health care.
But I'd like to point out that there's a lot of rich people that are fucking miserable to the point of them shooting themselves.
Well, that's their own fault. They need therapy because they're hoarders.
But still, it just kind of proves that it's not the money that's making you happy.
It doesn't always make you happy, but it is possible to make you happy.
No, well, they've done it.
Is it true happiness?
They've done a study already where it's like, I think it's like 80,000 or something. It's something like a certain amount of money. If you make more than that, it doesn't make you any happier. But up to like 80,000 or whatever it is, yeah, it does. It does. But over that point is when, like Prop said, yeah, if you're super rich, yeah, like you're going through some shit that, because you're so soft, you ain't never suffered, so you go through some shit.
And Prop, I wanted to answer the thing you said about doesn't make you true happiness. Do you remember that, like, you know, like we saw, she died, she giggled and stuff like that. Like, you don't think that, like, she really enjoyed making that money?
That gave her true happiness. It definitely.
That gave her true happiness. She's gonna get a lot of money.
Jesus Christ.
She's gonna get a lot of money for fucking up that country. That money made her happy.
Well, let's hang on a second, because Prop basically brought up, like, is that true happiness? So did you mean something by that, Prop? As opposed to like this fake sort of happiness? Is there a real happiness?
Yeah, I think that when you stay present and you just take a deep breath and you look at the sky and you say, "Holy tits, I'm here." That's true happiness.
Yeah,
let's do a poll of like homeless people and ask them how happy they are.
I think you'd be surprised by some of those
Other end of
answers.
the spectrum.
From the ones I've interacted with, I think you'd be surprised by that answer. Not all of them. Obviously, I think the majority are going to say, "I hate this shit," or whatever.
Yeah, like I've lived with them. I've been homeless for 2 years, like straight.
I think
I've lived with them. Not too many are happy.
I don't think it is my list, but I would say the majority would say, "Fuck no."
Well, I think there's the
I
ones.
think you'd have to ask them, like, what makes you happy?
And you have to make yourself happy.
And
Listen,
I don't
that's
think
like
they
when
would say money.
Well, there's the ones that are like teetering between like I have a place and I don't have a place, those are the ones that usually come off as like unhappy that they're homeless, as opposed to the ones that are like, fuck it, like I already gave up on this shit. They just live a life of being homeless. A lot of them will say something like that they're enjoying their existence. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
They gave up though, so they're not happy.
So it's
Like,
like,
that's the thing. Like they gave up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but like in Buddhism, it suggests that you try to like give up all worldly possessions and live in the present
And
and
we all
enjoy
should,
what
but
you
that's
have in life as a
yeah, we
human.
all should. But like, here's the thing. Okay, so when you're in prison doing life, you have to joke around and make yourself happy, or else you're gonna kill yourself or kill someone else. So you find happiness in prison doing life. You will find happiness, or you're gonna kill yourself or someone else. Guaranteed.
but that is happiness, though, right?
The funniest people you will ever meet are in jail and prison. That's the funniest people you ever meet. Because you have to make yourself laugh and be happy, or you're going to kill someone or someone else.
So that's like
just
people
fact.
being.
Like, that's just what happens. It's human nature. That's human nature. We have to adapt to that. That's why nothing ever changes, because we will adapt to the worst situations. I was in the hole for 6 months straight and adapted to that shit.
Holy shit.
I adapted to that shit. It didn't break me.
So you're saying, hold on. So you're saying that that's not real happiness because it's basically like other things are pressuring you to try and adapt to a scenario, as opposed to just everything being taken care of and then you're actually happy, right?
It's not about everything being taken care of. It's like what's it about? Like basically when you're poor, it's like being in prison except you're free. Because your options are limited. Like everything is limited. So even when you're poor, it's still like being in prison except you're free though. Like you gotta walk around, you gotta go work at McDonald's, or you gotta do this bullshit.
Okay,
So how can you really be happy? You can't. No, it takes 80,000. So you can be real happy, and anything more than that is you don't appreciate it.
it sounds like you're saying.
I look at poor kids, and poor kids can be like not even know that they're poor and be like happy as hell. So I think it's like
kids though, but what about their parents? The parents.
But I think
are not
that
happy.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the money. I think it's something else that is like.
Yeah, because they're still getting their needs met by their parents, but at the same time they still have that family bond and they're getting the love and attention. So they don't know enough yet, and they don't have the responsibility on them yet to be miserable about it. Like once they get older and once they have kids of their own and they're in that situation, it's totally different.
It sounds kind of what Tender's saying is that the ability to kind of freely pursue happiness is the happiness itself. Am I getting that kind of correct?
I mean, kind of, because you have to. Like, even if you're doing life in prison and that's your only thing, like, you got to be there. And if you kill someone, then you're going to be in solitary for years on end. And if you do get out, and then you don't kill someone again, then you're going to be in solitary the whole time, an hour a day till you die. And, so that ain't a treat. No one wants to do that. So, yeah, you got to make yourself happy so you don't fucking snap.
You know what would bring me fucking happiness? Seeing YellBRo get 600 some likes on some shitty ass stupid fucking tweet he just hammered out on a Tuesday when he was working or something. Like, what is it?
Yeah, me too.
I think that poor people can actually they learn to make, just out of a basic survival instinct, they learn how to make the most out of their happiness. They have to find happiness in every crook and cranny that they can. I mean, wealthy people, they just don't know. I mean, they're just so used to like buying things to be happy. So when that isn't enough, they don't know how to fill that void. They only know how to like make more money. Like, okay, well, obviously if I'm not happy, then I just need to make more money. Where poor people, they look for that shit everywhere. Like in memes or just in, I don't know. If anybody's been like in a depression spiral and it's just like everything is just sucks, and then all of a sudden one day you see something and it's just the funniest shit that you've ever seen in your life, and and you're just laughing like crazy over it because I mean, like it could be anything from like a popcorn kernel laying on the floor, and you just laugh just like so hard because that's the only thing you can do in that situation. If you don't laugh, you're gonna lose your fucking mind.
Well,
So
the thing I'm trying to get
they don't have that option of like being forced up against a wall of like, hey, I don't have anything else left to do but to laugh at this shit. They have the means to like just keep pursuing more. I don't know if that's making sense.
Well,
No,
the
I
thing
hear
I'm
you.
trying to argue against is I'm not saying that you can't be poor in that situation and not be happy and find little small moments of enjoyment, but a lot of these like severely messed up, egotistical, evil people who love the wars, who love like spying, CIA stuff like that. You don't think that doesn't make them happy? Like you can sometimes see it on their face, like they love fucking up the world, and they wouldn't
Oh
be able to
yeah.
they wouldn't be able to do it if they didn't have any money.
No,
I mean,
it's not
I wouldn't
costing
call
them
that
any money.
happiness, but
Truly terrifying.
Like, does it
I mean,
cost
the
Hillary
things that
Clinton
make
any
Hillary
money?
Clinton happy.
Does it cost her any money to like blow something up? No, it's literally, to me it's like it's the action of it being done. I don't know, people are gleeful over George Bush dying or whatever. It's like
well,
I don't even think
that's a
is that
funding of her
actually,
life. That's a funding
but
of
is
her
that actually
lifestyle.
like true, is that true happiness?
Yeah, she loves
And
doing that stuff. That's a funding.
or is it people lying to themselves and saying that that is what makes them happy and just like wearing a face kind of thing?
You honestly don't believe
I
that
fucking love
like
this
there's
discussion.
there's someone
I
out
love
there
it.
in the CIA or one of these presidents who like I legit love doing this. I legit love like messing up the world.
But I think
Oh
that
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but
I think that
it's
All
I
of
think
them.
the
They
people
love
that
it.
live like that, they suffer in a way. I think that the people who are sadistic and evil,
I don't
they
think
get
so.
away with it. They get a lot of material rewards, but I think that it is sort of this soul crippling thing that almost makes it like it is hell on earth, and there is like kind of an immediate justice in some sense that like you can't be that twisted and harm people like that and enjoy harming people and then still have like a really good relationship with your kid that's not all twisted, or your husband or your friends.
Oh,
It's
I
like
don't know about yeah. I
I
don't know
think you
about
pay a
that.
price.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Well,
No,
I'm
you could
pretty
be
sure they would
right
just.
about that. You could be
I'm
right
pretty
about.
sure they
I'm
would
just
just
saying.
surround.
I know all these politicians love being evil. Like I know all these people. I don't know about their relationship with their friends and their kids, and then I know they get pleasure out of being evil. I know that much.
Go ahead,
They
Emblem.
don't have a
I think it's like
relationship.
a
They don't have
heroin
friends.
addict.
They don't have family. I mean, they have people that they biologically are related to, but I don't. But they're not like they don't have kids that they go out and play catch with. They don't have friends that they go out and just like hang out and go see a movie with. Nothing like that. They don't have real. I mean, because they're always suspicious of everybody. Everybody they have to be like constantly on guard because oh well this person might be trying to use me for my money or my power or my status or oh my kids.
No.
I can't spend time with my kids because I'm too busy like signing laws into effect that I was paid to do so. So like they don't get
And if
anything
you're
like that.
Hillary's friends,
They have no human connection.
if you're Hillary's friends, you might wonder if you're gonna get killed. I don't know.
Exactly.
Prop. What were you bringing up in regards to, like it's happiness, almost like like heroin addiction, as opposed to like real happiness? Where were you going with that?
Yeah. Like I've seen heroin addicts. Like I was in the bus stop once, and I was like, this dude was like fading on heroin, and this old lady was sat beside me, and I said like, heroin's a hell of a drug. And then the dude like came to and was like, yeah, it's like terrible. And this drug gives this guy bliss and gives him fucking ecstasy and shit, all the things he wants, but it makes him miserable, and but he still does it and shit. So I think that there's different types of happiness, and a lot of it, or I don't even wouldn't even call it happiness. It's like a surface level happiness that isn't actually sustaining your needs. And I think that like human connection and like things you need biologically, like healthy food and stuff, that is what makes us like truly happy,
Okay.
and having our needs met that way. And I guess yeah, money can buy you that stuff, but also like money can't buy you family and connections.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna ask one last it's a pretty tough question. It's a very tough question, and I'm gonna go one by one. If you don't have an answer, it's okay. But I think it's something interesting to bring up. I'll go in ABC order then with the Discord. So the question is, can you define happiness? Amy, you are up.
I don't know. I think if you have meaning in life, that is maybe as good. I mean, you can take joy in things and see beauty in things, and I think you should buffer yourself with as much gratitude as you can when you're facing bad things like maybe a global tyrannical takeover or something like that. But I don't know. I think that having meaning and purpose is really important, and our culture does not help people do that. That's what I think.
Okay, Evie, what do you think?
I think
How would you define happiness, or if you could?
happiness is just feeling a sense of joy, but I think it's also a fleeting emotion. I think we're better off chasing being content rather than chasing happiness because contentedness you could live with, day in, day out. Happiness is something that comes and goes. So even when happiness goes, you can still feel content with your life. You know what I mean?
Okay. Emblemed. Can you define
Uh,
happiness?
I'll basically go off like what usually like tends to make me kind of happy in sort of sense like what I view as like a definition of happiness, and that's content. Like that's why I brought up the working with thing, and I brought up other things like when a craftsman does something like if you build like clocks or a table and you really love that, and that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, or you're a war criminal and you just really love doing that as well. I view that as like a kind of like intense form of happiness. I love a good game that can keep me there for hours and hours and hours. The story is great, the visuals are great, everything like that. The aesthetic is really great, and I never get that feeling up from most anything else. I'm really deep into that thought right now. I view like a serious like amount of content in one thing as like true happiness.
Okay. Uh, Tender, what do you think? Can you define
I'm
happiness,
still
or?
thinking. I'm still thinking. I mean, I kind of maybe not. Like, I don't know. Like, because I would think
It's a
it would
very
be
tough question.
more. I would think it would be more akin to joy than content. I think content is beneath happiness, but joy might be more extreme than happiness. Like joy is when you're on a roller coaster. To me, happy is more like love, but it's not that either. I mean, they're similar, but different. Because love isn't contingent on money, but happiness is. But they're similar kind of things, I think. But no, I don't really. I have to think about it. That's something I really would have to. I gotta think about that for some deep thoughts. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, because I'm telling you, this is, trust me, this question has been struggled with forever and ever. As long as humans have existed, it has been a struggle. Prop, what do you think? Can you define happiness? Want to give it a shot?
Yeah. The prop dictionary defines happiness as fostering the well-being, and also YellBRo naked. That's pure ecstasy right there, baby.
Ecstasy and happy are
Oh,
the same
gee.
either.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Is that it?
It's someone- yeah. Fostering your well-being. I think that happiness is connected to like well-being and your biology and like your health and shit.
Okay. All right.
You say nigga?
Dude, shut the fuck up, Villas. Don't be like that. Don't be bringing that shit onto people's streams. And don't be bringing that shit into my goddamn Discord, you son of a tit.
What
What?
did he say?
He said the N-word.
Oh, he's
Right
brilliant.
now?
Don't worry, I'm actively ignoring
I
him.
didn't hear him say
Uh,
that.
That's how Villas defines the happiness. He
Brilliant.
has happiness inside of him.
Wonderful.
Big happiness.
All
Am I
right.
supposed to be the only basketball American here?
All right, hang on.
Happiness.
Allie, I saw you jumped in. Do you want to say something as far as like maybe defining happiness or just adding to what everyone's been saying so far?
Ali, Arkansas.
Is this Masvidal?
Miss Miami.
Damn, bro, putting people
Paging
on the spot
Miss
like that,
Miami.
That's harsh.
Oh, Jack too.
Just,
Jackie.
Hey, Jack's here. Yo, appreciate the Chinese lessons, man.
Jackie boy.
All right, Jack or Allie, do you guys want to try to define happiness or just add on or add statements on what you heard so far?
I'm not Ben. Whoever was teaching Chinese, that wasn't me.
Oh.
It's a really hard language.
Oh my God, we're doing a video. Come on, come on. Happiness? What do you think? Is it real? Is it a real thing? Can you define it?
It's not the Beatles quote, if Mantis asks.
It's whatever you want it
That's
to
a
be.
thinker. There you go.
It's
I
whatever
don't
you
know.
want.
That's what I was
Okay.
saying. I don't know. I do not know if I can define it. I know what it is for me, but it is whatever it is to
Is
you,
it
yeah.
monetarily? Because like, if killing makes
No.
you happy,
No.
do you have to pay money to
Yeah,
like kill people?
Money can buy
Money.
you peace of mind in a sense. You're not stressed about stuff. I can tell you that. I feel like
It's
that's
just
Yeah,
varying
how I
levels
feel.
of
But
how.
no, I know some
Yeah.
miserable rich people. Like
All of my.
they all come in all sizes. It's a
Yeah.
money doesn't buy you happiness. I don't think. At least not the happiness that I want.
It'll buy me happy.
It might be happiness for some people. Some people are just
Man,
that.
I've seen the most miserable
shallow.
people like spend 400 and
Maybe not
4
even
to 500,000
Oh, I
on like
wouldn't. No,
sports
I know.
cars, and
That's
even then they're
what
not
I'm
happy.
getting.
Like they're still bitching about the shit. Like
No,
that's
I
how
wouldn't.
these people are.
Oh
I'm
no,
not saying
I
there's
would
not
never
miserable rich
complain.
people. I'm
No,
saying
no,
you
no,
can
no.
be.
I'm saying there's like a level, like money wise, where there's like a disconnect. Like
It's
it just and
80
it starts
grand, I
gradually
think.
getting bigger and bigger
Yeah, I
and
think
bigger.
it's 80 grand. I think it's 80
Like
grand a year.
hearing someone bitch about like again, this I was making like not a shit ton of money. In fact, this person had cut my rate in half because they were that kind of like dick. And like this person had all kinds of sports cars. Like every time I go over there, it'd be a brand new sports car. I'm talking like sports cars where you pay like $10,000 for a fucking oil change. $10,000. Think about that. $10,000 for an oil change. They got to crate and box the car and put it in a storage container to do that shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
When I learned about that, like I switched off of that work site like right away. I was like, I can't deal with this shit.
But
Yeah.
sports car is fun. You
Usually
don't
those
feel
cars
so
like
I'm not
home,
saying I'm not saying like to each their own, and if someone like does good and makes like money like doing good shit, then yeah, like I've got tons of friends like they saw some horrendous shit, fought in like a few wars, and what they would do is they'd get a car when they got back. Like that was just how they would cope with that shit. You know,
Sometimes
people cope with shit
feel
differently, so maybe
interest.
that's happiness.
But I
don't
think
know.
at a certain like level of income, you have to sacrifice a certain part of yourself. You have to sacrifice
like
your
your soul.
morals or values. You have to sacrifice the time that you spend with friends and family, and that's why you start to see that disconnect of like where you see the misery start to kick in. Because now you're making all this money, but you don't get to spend time with friends or family. You don't get to like do any of those things, and you're sacrificing your own like personal values in order to make that money.
Well, and
So
like there's a martyr complex to it that as well, where they're like, oh, I spent all this time doing all this, and I deserve all this. If they're not like, there's literal psychopaths that they don't give a flying fuck what anyone thinks about them, and like those people creep me out. Like I've met a few. Like I've had like not clients, but like when I was just doing like on-site consulting, I'd meet people that I'm just like, this person doesn't understand like empathy, basic empathy. That's the kind of shit that I worry about. Not the
scary.
person that's bragging about their sports car. It's the person that's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
I hear that, and well, it'd be hard for me to consider that anywhere near happiness. But all right, I'm gonna wrap the video up, and I just want to say, like, I'm gonna give it a crack as far as
Good.
trying to
Yeah,
define this word. It's not gonna be perfect because words will never ever define something like happiness or love or any of these things, even sadness. Words will never amount to enough. But if I could say something like, I would consider happiness these not only moments of experience, but also the journey to those moments, the pursuit of it, without having to push anyone down when you do it. just free self-expression, feel these, I guess, existential moments of joy.
Okay.
I don't know if that word works. I'm almost kind of like using the word in the definition, so it kind of messes it up. But
I get
It
what you're
means
saying.
happiness.
Yeah.
it's the not only the moments when you reach the mountaintop, but also the actual climbing of the mountain without having to knock anyone down while you do it. That's my best guess at wording a definition of happiness. All right,
YellBRo means
I'm going to wrap the
happiness.
video up there.
Happiness means family.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Guys,
Watt.
hold on,
Yes.
guys. All right, so please subscribe if you feel like, comment, agree, disagree. What do you think happiness is, or can can money buy happiness? Tell me in the comment section. Please do not forget to share, support, hopefully donate. Devon's journey to recovery, to helping victims of Africom, to Cohen Daly, the Australian boy. Also help out some content creators, Stevie, aka Red Economics. You heard her. You heard her today. Also, Sleepy J, aka Sleepy Josh, buy him a coffee. And also, the snail, Ali Alexandra. You heard her as well. All links will be
Thank
in
you
the
to the people that
description
already
box.
donated, seriously.
Hey,
Just
hey! Nah.
Right.
Yes, all links are in the description box. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down. Ah!